it's Bridgette. I'm in line at Starbucks. I'm about halfway up on my road trip journey for voting today. You're probably thinking, Bridgette, why are you having to drive to vote? No. It's not for me. I am supporting and encouraging the process for my college kid who got her absentee ballot. She says this is her first time voting, so she registers and requested her absentee ballot in the mail, and it came to our home address, of course, because that's where her driver's license is. That's important. And so I'm driving it up to her, gonna have her fill it out because she's not registered. She's registering at the same time that she is completing her ballot. It needs to be witnessed by a registered voter, which is me. And then gonna put it all in the multiple envelopes. There's like 3 envelopes. It's crazy, you guys. Like, I have never seen voting made this complicated ever before, and it's totally worth it. Just read the instructions. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just annoying that it's like, oh, it has to be in this orange envelope, a secrecy one. Then it has to go in this other one where you have to sign it. And then it has to go in the other one where you mail it. Make sure there's 2 stamps and all that stuff. I'm like, really? What? Just put it in the dang envelope. You can't do that because it'll be considered not valid. Follow the instructions. And so I'm driving up. I'm going to have her do that and then seal it all up. And then I'm going to bring it home and drop it off at our government center tomorrow. And when you do that, by the way, if you're dropping off for like someone else, if you're dropping off a ballot for someone else, you do, at least when we went in just this last week, you have to fill out a form. You have to sign your name and show your identification and put your driver's license number down, and who each ballot that you're turning in for someone else, you have to write their name and address down too. So just make sure you know that you have their name and address and all that, because you have to fill out a form because you're dropping it off on behalf of them, and there has to be a trail. They have to trace it to make sure there's no like double ballots or any kind of naughtiness going on there. So they're just trying to be extra careful, I guess. So, which makes sense, especially in our climate right now. And so that's what I'm doing. So I got about a 4-hour round trip, and I'm stopping halfway up right now to get some Starbucks. I'm gonna have to stop for lunch too, because I am hungry. It is like almost noon right now. I should get there about 1 though. Luckily she's only 2 hours away. Can you imagine if she was really far, like, I don't know, like 5 hours or something? Oh, I'm so glad she didn't go to Bemidji State. She really, really wanted to go there. It's 5 hours. I would be doing this in 5. Oh my goodness. But voting is worth it. That's how important it is. I am very proud to say that I have 2 kids that get to vote in their first election this time, and their first election is a presidential election. That's exciting. I had my high school senior turned 18 in September, so he just voted last week, and on Wednesday actually, and my daughter is 19, and this is her first presidential election, and so she's voting for the first time. So this is pretty cool, pretty happy about that. This year matters a lot, so I'm glad that we've got 4 votes in our household. So that's awesome. My husband and I already voted. If you haven't voted, make a plan to vote. Don't get discouraged. And if I were you, I wouldn't wait until election day. I'd try to do early voting if that's an option in your area, because it's just less stressful. It was for me anyway to do it that way, because I'm like not sure about, who knows the craziness of election day, how that's going to be. And I don't want you to change your mind and just not go, because remember, as I've told my kids, people have died for this right. And there was a time 100 years ago, especially for my daughter, I said to her, there's a time 100 years ago when women could not vote. We just celebrated the 100 years of us being able to vote. And so you had better vote. I don't care who you vote for, you need to vote. And there are people in other countries that can't vote. So we need to make sure that we do that. I think we're honoring the people who have come before us, our history, our lineage, and we're also honoring the future, all of the generations to come. So, all right, so that's my little spiel. It's a Sunday. I am feeling better. Thank you for asking. Some of you have asked, because I had the flu shot this last week, and I had a little reaction to it. Nothing serious, just fever, muscle aches, and a headache, and that's normal. And it only lasted for a day, and now I feel okay. So thank you for asking. All right, get out there and vote, you guys. Vote, vote, vote.